The Kelce brothers just made NFL history by being the first brothers to play against each other in the Super Bowl. It seemed like that's all people were talking about, even naming the Super Bowl the Kelsey Bowl. How did two brothers from a small town end up competing against each other in the Super Bowl? Travis and Jason Kelce are exactly 23 months apart. Jason was born on November 5th, 1987, and Travis on October 5th, 1989. They grew up in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Jason, however, was born in North Carolina, but shortly his family moved to Ohio. Besides annoying each other, they always had that competitive drive. They were very, very competitive from a very early age, said Donna Kelce, their mom. Like any brothers, there were many fights, but the competitiveness wasn't a bad thing, Travis said. I think the competitiveness that we had growing up is very big on why we're even in the NFL in the first place. They were both involved in a variety of sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, the list goes on. Jason even extended his talents to playing in his school's jazz band while in high school. During the winter, Jason would play hockey while Travis would play basketball. They both attended Cleveland Heights High School. As a freshman, Jason introduced himself to the coach and nicknamed himself IR since he claimed to always be injured. Jason would battle with not properly preparing his body and mind for the season. He was known in middle school for always getting hurt in any sport he played. Cleveland Heights is a very unique spot. It's a special place, Jason said. It's very diverse of thought. It's very diverse in culture. It's very diverse economically. We were fortunate to play sports, to go to school, play music with lots of different kids and people from all sorts of walks of life. We got exposed to a lot growing up in Cleveland Heights that I think a lot might not get exposed to. And that was one of the big strengths. The lessons both brothers learned at Cleveland Heights shaped them into who they are on the NFL stage today. Conditioning and maintenance were far from the only lessons they learned in high school. Jason took the big brother role seriously. Their high school coach, Mike Jones, said Jason always made sure Travis was where he was supposed to be. Once they stepped in between those white lines though, the competition was on. Jones stated that they took different offensive and defensive roles. Jason started out as an inside linebacker for us, and he ended up playing some fullback, a little tight end. Also, Jason was a tweener. We didn't always know where to put him, but he was fast and tough, Jones said. Then Travis was a quarterback. He was a quarterback by default because he was the best athlete on the team. Jason played linebacker his senior season. He recorded 105 tackles and 33 tackles for loss as a high school senior. Jason was named League Defensive MVP. He graduated from Cleveland Heights in 2006. On the other hand, Travis was still in high school after his big brother graduated. Travis was an All-Lake Evie League quarterback for Heights after totaling 2,539 yards of total offense as a senior. He collected 1,016 rushing yards, including 10 touchdowns and 1,523 passing yards, completing 103 passes out of 198 attempts. Travis then graduated in 2008. After Jason graduated, he surprisingly received no college offers. He went ahead and attended the University of Cincinnati. Jason didn't let this throw him off his dream. He had a goal, and the goal was to play professional football.
High school, nobody gave me a scholarship offer, and I was like at a weird place in my life where I didn't know what the to do. But I decided to ask my parents if I could walk on. I didn't want to play at a smaller school. I wanted to try and play Division I football. So I think I'm good enough to do that. I'm gonna go do that. And they said, we'll make it work.
While being redshirted, Jason received the Scout Team Defensive Player of the Year award and Defensive Player of the Week honors. After being redshirted his freshman season, he was hoping his work on the practice field would impress the coaches. Jason continued to work, and eventually his coaches urged him to enroll without a scholarship and walk onto the team. The hours in practice were starting to pay off, and he could see it. Jason switched from walk-on running back to fullback and then finally to the offensive line. In 2008, during his sophomore season, he helped form the offensive line that averaged 27.3 points and 375.3 yards per game. He then moved to play center his senior season in 2010, being named Honorable Mention All-American and Second Team All-Big East. Jason received 0 college offers, but just because he was determined on his end goal, he continued to put the work in. He pushed through adversity. Now let's go back and focus on Travis. Travis had a little different experience in college. Travis received many offers to play football, but decided to follow the footsteps of his big bro, so he went to attend the University of Cincinnati. Being on his team, knowing that he's already going through this system, it just made the most sense, Travis stated on an interview with the NFL. Travis was kicked off the football team at University of Cincinnati for violating team rules. Travis ended up failing a drug test which would revoke his scholarship. Jason allowed Travis to stay with him and help provide for him and keep an eye on him. Travis stated he needed to find a plan B quick. He tried to play summer baseball, but it just wasn't for him. He wanted to play football. Jason Kelce went back and forth pleading to the coaches to give Travis another chance. They finally agreed to let him back on. In order to keep his spot on the team, he had to live to certain standards like making the Dean's List. Travis was willing to refocus since he was so passionate about playing football. He said he found happiness playing football. He wasn't going to let this opportunity go to waste, and so many are so glad he decided to refocus. Travis then went on to hold the single season record for receiving yards for a tight end with 722 yards. In Travis's final season, he recorded personal best, 45 receptions, 722 yards, and 8 receiving touchdowns. He earned first team all-conference honors that season. He also won the College Performance Awards Tight End of the Year. Okay, now we're going back to Jason. Jason was projected to land in either the 4th or 5th round. Jason had the fastest 40-yard dash of all offensive linemen. Jason was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2011. He was a 6th round pick. After being drafted, Jason had to wait until the NFL lockout was over to sign any contract. On July 27, 2011, he signed a 4-year deal with the Eagles. Jason has started center every game he's played for the Eagles. In 2012, Jason would experience a season-ending injury. He partially tore his MCL and ACL. On February 27, 2014, Jason signed a 6-year deal for $37.5 million. In 2017, Jason had his best professional season. He was selected first-team All-Pro and was the highest-rated offensive lineman. He helped defeat Tom Brady and the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Jason has debated retiring, but his love for the game keeps him going. Before entering this past season, he extended his contract once again, making him the highest paid center in the NFL. Good thing he signed that extension, because if he hadn't, he wouldn't have been able to play his brother in the Super Bowl. Jason is now thinking of retiring from the game, but nothing is definite. Jason Kelce is no doubt one of the greatest centers the league has seen. His talent on the field supports that claim, but also his character off the field. It must run in the Kelce family. Jason has 6 Pro Bowl appearances, 5 first-team All-Pros, 2 second-team All-Pros, and a Super Bowl win. Okay, now let's get back to his little brother, Travis. As I mentioned earlier, and as you have probably seen by the parades, he's a character. After graduating college, Travis entered the NFL draft. Travis was as anxious as any draftee during the draft. Travis received a phone call during the draft from a Missouri phone number. He was disappointed because he thought on the other end was the struggling St. Louis Rams. When Travis answered the phone, he was surprised to be greeted by Kansas City head coach Andy Reid. Andy was already kind of familiar with Travis. Coach Reid coached over in Philadelphia for some time and was able to coach Jason. Andy had this to say to Travis: "Are you going to screw this up? I need a mature guy. I don't need a guy who's going to come in and be silly and not be focused on the task at hand." Travis then said to Coach Reid, "I'll try to be the best tight end you've ever had." After the phone call, Reid went to Jason. As always, Jason stood up for his brother. After those conversations, Andy Reid had his mind set. The Kansas City Chiefs drafted Travis Kelce 63rd overall in the 2013 draft. They signed him for a 4-year deal worth $3.12 million. However, Travis didn't get a shot to shine his rookie season. He was placed on IR after playing a total of 1 snap. He was hurt after the 2nd week of the season and only got to play on the special teams roster. Travis wouldn't see his first professional touchdown until the 2014 season. He received his first touchdown from Alex Smith in week 3 against the Dolphins. During that same season, Travis would be hit with his first fine after making a gesture towards Von Miller. Andy Reid would go on to say that this was an immature move. The following week, Travis would record his first 100-plus yard game, finishing with 110 yards and a win over the San Diego Chargers. After not playing his rookie season, Kelce was the Chiefs' leading receiver, totaling 862 yards off 67 receptions. To start the 2015 season, Travis would have his first multi-touchdown game, finishing with 2 touchdowns. They would go on to beat the Texans. Kelce had 106 yards off 6 receptions and 2 touchdowns. That's a way to start a season. In 2016, Travis would go on to sign a 5-year contract extension worth $46 million. What a come up from his rookie contract. Patrick Mahomes was drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs, and let's just say Travis and Mahomes have a great chemistry. Every season since Mahomes has been on the Chiefs, he has helped lead them to at least the AFC Championship game. In their first season together, they experiencing a heartbreaking loss to the Patriots in overtime in the AFC Championship game. The next season, Mahomes and Kelce continue to build rapport. They both say that they truly are just best friends. They have a strong connection on the field, and it is proven every week. Travis and the Chiefs would go on to win Super Bowl 54 against the 49ers after an incredible fourth quarter comeback. That wasn't it for them though. The following year, they were back in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, being Tom Brady, took out the Chiefs again. I guess the Chiefs' kryptonite is Tom Brady. The following season, football fans across the world experienced one of the greatest games ever played. I don't want to go into too much detail about the game, but Travis Kelce helped lead the Chiefs to a miracle-like comeback against the Bills. They would then lose to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship game. The next season, Travis and the Chiefs would end up beating the Bengals and place themselves into the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl, the Chiefs were playing the Eagles. Both teams were the number 1 seed, finishing 14-3. Travis has broken many NFL records and holds many accolades. Do you guys think Travis Kelce is the greatest tight end of all time? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. The Kelce brothers launched a podcast in the beginning of the season called New Heights, referring back to their high school days. The Kelsey Bowl was a fan favorite and was NFL history, the first time any brothers played each other in the Super Bowl. I could only imagine how good Donna Kelce felt watching both her sons compete against each other on the biggest stage. Both brothers loved experiencing that moment regardless of the outcome. Jason was very emotional after the Super Bowl and was just so happy their mom was on top of the world. It is a very special moment for the whole entire Kelce family. The Kelce brothers have helped each other elevate themselves into who they are today. Travis even wears number 87 to honor his brother Jason. Kelce said if there is a Kelce legacy, it all started in 1987.